Today we are going to be talking about Azreal. Now, Azreal is hands down one of the most advanced characters in this game, and he is definitely the hardest support to use in Master. But if you're able to master him, then hey, good for you. Kudos. He's a interesting character. That's all I gotta say. But let's start out with his first passive, which is called glide. It allows him to glide in the air. I mean, obviously, he does have wings. It consumes stamina, so you do want to, make sure you use it correctly and conserve it. Don't want to just spam it because it looks cool. Otherwise, you're pretty much fucked. But let's talk about his other passive, and hands down the most important thing he has, which is called Soul Eater. Now, Soul Eater, each basic hit that Azrael hits you with applies a stack. It maxes up to 5 stacks per enemy. So each enemy can have a total of 5 stacks on him. While the stacks are on the enemy, it does damage over time and heals you. Now, it heals, I believe, 9 HP at max stats. So that's pretty good depending on how many stacks you can actually get on that person now. His basic attack has 4 inputs, but it hits 5 times. So if you land all your basic attacks on one enemy, that's max stats right there. Now, in his first ability, which is Portal, as you can see, it has a 15-second cooldown. It allows him and his allies to travel through a portal. Is pretty self-explanatory. Now, it is very important you utilize this correctly. You have to know when to use it to get out, or you can use it to get into a fight. I've seen many good Azreal players just bomb rush a team fully and just decimate them with the portal because they knew timing about it. It's very important. Now, his healing, which is called Guardian Angel, it's very basic. I just gotta say that now. If you have max stacks on an enemy, it does heal them more, and it has very good range. But I just feel like you can only heal one person at a time, so it's not all that good. But if you're able to get your Soul Eater max stack on all enemies, then that one person will be healed very very quickly. As you can see here, healing is more when the stacks is maxed. Now, yeah, his third ability, which is what you're gonna be using the most, which is called Void Wave. As you can see, it's like a little. I'm gonna call it a wing cutter. I'm gonna call it a wing cutter. It shoots a little wing out, and like in a boomerang form, and it's pretty good. It does great damage. You can use it to extend your combos. But the interesting part is the second hit. If the second part of the attack actually connects, it slows the enemy, which is great, and it does hit multiple people at once. This is a great way to get all of your stacks in multiple enemies at once, as you can see here. This is definitely what you're going to be using most of the time. Very, very good ability. My favorite ability of his outside of Glide. Now, now it's very important you utilize this also correctly. You don't want to just it has charges and you don't want to run out of charges. You want to conserve it correctly. But it's there. He can kill enemies too, which is great. People if you put that 1v for them 1v1 fights, he can't kill enemies himself, which is great. I like that in supports. He's not completely useless like some supports we're gonna get to later. But his first ultimate ability is called Wing Blast. Yeah, it's very lame, I guess. It's mostly for a get off type move. It doesn't deal any damage. It does slows. It pushes him back far. I mean, you can activate in midair, but his second ultimate is probably what you're gonna be using the most. But I guess if you're getting ganged up by 4 people, all your teammates are dead, and you need to get away from the fight, this is good, I guess. But his other ultimate, which is called Chrysalis. Now, Chrysalis is a very different type of ultimate. Now, First off, it's a shell. You know, you activate it, and does give him a shield of HP, and it does heal. Now, and after 4 seconds, it explodes, dealing a decent amount of damage to enemies. Now, with mods, I believe you can increase the radius of the explosion. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check. But it's a pretty okay. He is stationary while channeling. You can't move, which is, I guess that makes sense because it's supposed to be a crystal. This is more of a defensive thing. Now, while in this form, it can be destroyed. So you absolutely have to be careful. You're not invulnerable, sadly, while doing it. So if 4 people are ganging up on you, it can get destroyed, but it only has a channel for 4 seconds. So if you time it correctly, you're good. Now, the other part is he could actually bring in one ally, just one. It should be like maybe two, in my opinion. But I guess the animation for it will be weird. And it does heal them. It doesn't heal them for much, but if you just want to get into quick healing while defending them, this is great. Now, as I said, Azreal is not for beginners, but if you completely master him, he'd be a great asset. His portal, if you utilize that correctly and it's optimizing him on his stats, then hey, he's perfect for you. And he's a very cool looking character, but yeah, he's not easy. But yeah, it's been nonchalant. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.